Tennessee in 10 starts now.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Amanda Hera at WSMV in Nashville. A man is charged with 3 counts of murder after a deadly fire in East Tennessee. Family members say Norma Delmar and Cass Farley were all killed in the fire at a home in Blount County on Sunday. Authorities have now arrested and charged Johnny Ray Wilburn. Family members say he is the ex-son-in-law of one of the victims. They say Wilburn had been staying with the family a few days before the fire. 5 Tennesseans convicted in the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol are now out of prison. It follows President Donald Trump's widespread pardon of those who participated in the insurrection. Body camera footage captured several of those people. The man seen here swinging a baton and fighting with Capitol Police was ultimately sentenced to 5 years in prison last year. Prosecutors say he also dragged an officer down the stairs. At the time, Ronald Maccabee was training to become a Williamson County Sheriff's deputy. This morning, he is free. Eric Munchell of Nashville is also free. He became known as the zip tie guy for being photographed carrying those zip ties. He was originally set to be released in late 2027. And then there's Joseph Jose Padilla of Cleveland, Tennessee. You can see him in the crowd wearing a scuba mask. He was caught on camera using metal Trump signs to break the barricade. According to a criminal complaint, he also threw a flagpole at officers. There are other Tennessee men who were released from federal prison. A man from Kingsport, Tennessee, was sentenced to 7 years in prison. He was convicted of dragging a police officer into a mob. And a Knoxville man pleaded guilty to a felony after prosecutors say he was violently obstructive towards law enforcement. Well, the superintendent of Tennessee's largest school district is now off the job. After a contentious meeting that lasted hours, the Memphis-Shelby County School Board voted to fire her last night. Board members say in 9 months, Dr. Marie Fagans has not shown leadership capable of transforming the district. She's faced backlash over layoffs, leadership resignations, and contract cuts. Board members also accuse her of losing a $300,000 contract to help homeless students and misleading the board when she said more than $1 million in overtime was paid to employees who didn't work that overtime. Dr. Fagans says the board chose chaos over children.
Stay encouraged, stay optimistic, keep using your voices, keep showing up. This is not the end, but stay focused on the main thing.
Dr. Fagans says she'll consider suing over her firing. The board now has to determine if she was fired with or without cause. That matters when figuring out if they have to pay out her contract, which is worth nearly $500,000. New surveillance video shows 5 teenagers, some as young as 13 years old, repeatedly plowing their car into a gun store. Franklin police say they were hoping to get their hands on guns and ammunition. This happened Monday morning at Arms and Ammo in Franklin. That's in Williamson County. You can see them continuously backing into the store, and they keep at this for quite a while before eventually giving up, getting out of the car, and trying to see if they can pull the glass down to get inside. When the teenagers realize they're not going to be able to, they leave empty-handed. But police spotted their car and chased them before eventually making arrests. Police say the teens are between the ages of 13 and 15 years old.
It is concerning. I mean, only they endanger themselves, but other people driving on the roads. Again, I wonder where the parents are at that time. These kids are our future. Of course, it's concerning.
Franklin police have not said what charges the teens are facing, but we know that that store is back open and making repairs. Doctors and nurses in Tennessee often face a dangerous dilemma: get mental health help, risk losing their license, or suffer in silence. The suicide rate for physicians in the U.S. is about 2 times higher than that of the general population. The Tennessee Medical Association says medical providers are often afraid to get help because they don't want to be labeled as impaired physicians. Earlier this year, a law went into effect in Tennessee that prevents the medical board from having access to a doctor's psychotherapy records. But that's only if the provider is diagnosed with burnout. The law does not protect providers if they're diagnosed with something else like OCD, anxiety, or depression.
As a patient, you'd want a physician who had had depression and had recovered, because they would have empathy. To limit them from practicing doesn't make a lot of sense.
Going forward, the Tennessee Medical Association also wants to eliminate stigmatizing questions about a medical provider's mental health from all hospital credentialing applications. It's a move that hospitals in multiple other states have already made. And remember, if you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, there is always help. You can call or text 988 to talk to a counselor. Tennessee also has a statewide crisis line that's open 24/7. Just call the number there on your screen. A new study ranks Tennessee as one of the most dangerous states for children to live in. Researchers ranked the top 10 states that are unsafe for kids, and the volunteer state came in at number 4. Researchers looked at statistics for crime, for kidnappings, and school shootings. The only states that beat out Tennessee were Texas, Florida, and California. Well, Congressman Tim Burchett says he's joining President Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, otherwise known as DOGE. The U.S. representative for Tennessee's 2nd District says he wants to take a look at the Pentagon, saying it hasn't passed an audit in 8 years. He also plans to focus on the Department of Education. Burchett says DOGE will shrink government spending and excess. All right, first alert weather day in effect for a lot of folks across the state because of that cold weather, but we have relief in sight, Stefano.
We certainly do, and that's the important thing to remember. Now, it's not going to come immediately through the day today, but we are going to slowly work our way back to near that freezing mark with a good amount of sunshine. So compared to the last couple of days, it should be a significantly more bearable one overall compared to, where we've been since the beginning of this week. Overnight tonight is still going to be cold. Many of us are going to be down into the teens to near 20 by tomorrow morning. So what does that mean? It means that things like dripping your faucets and making sure your cabinet doors are open to keep your pipes from freezing is still something you'll want to do overnight tonight. Normally we get into that pipe freezing danger zone around 20 degrees, so that's why I want you to just err on the side of caution through the overnight. Tomorrow, believe it or not, a weak cold front is coming in. That's where the extra cloud cover is going to come from, but before the front goes through, we should actually get a boost in the temperature. 30s and into the low 40s. We may see a couple of flurries fly through parts of the state, but nothing that will overall accumulate. We should start to see consistently warmer weather by the time we come around to the weekend, Amanda.
All right, looking forward to that. Stefano, thanks. Thanks for joining us for Tennessee in 10. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning with a look at the big stories from across the state. Have a great day.
This is Tennessee in 10, streaming your news and weather across the state in about 10 minutes.